The chapter opens by the sea, where waves breathe against the shore like a gentle lullaby. Yoo Sejun and Seo Isul walk side by side, the salty wind curling around them like a whisper from the past. You are all right, Sejun asks, his voice steady but soft, like a harbor reaching out to a drifting boat. Seo Isul smiles, faint but sincere. Yes, though, I feel like I might burst from shame, like a glass too full of secrets. Yoo Sejun glances at him with a quiet warmth. It seems they are really happy about the birth of another son. Really? He asks, blinking. I'm glad my parents like you, he says, as much as I do. He stops walking. The wind tugs at his coat, as if urging him to speak the words weighing on his heart. You said you liked me because I'm someone who would protect you, no matter what happens, right? Yes, he says. That's exactly why. Yoo Sejun's eyes search him, clear and unwavering. Ever since I first saw you, one thought has stayed with me. You are beautiful and precious, like sunlight breaking through after endless rain. I only want good things to happen to you. I want to be the one who brings you happiness. He takes a breath, then reaches into his pocket and holds out a small velvet box. I want to be the one who stays with you and protects you until the end. Will you let me? As he opens the box, the wind stills, time itself seems to hold its breath. But Seo Isul doesn't reach for the ring. Instead, a shadow passes over his face, memory rises like a storm tide. I was wondering how long you would keep selling your body, a cruel message had said. But it seems you have finally found a man who will suck your dry the right way. His heart aches with the weight of it, past wrapped in chains, voice inside him whispers, dark past I don't want to speak of as holding me back. If he sees all of me, will he still want me? Even if he says he loves me now, won't his feelings change? He lowers his gaze and said, I'm not worthy of being taken care of. But Yoo Sejun steps closer. That's not true, he says. I want to take care of you, because you are Seo Isul. To me, you are priceless, treasure I never thought I would find. I have never truly loved anyone, Seo Isul admits, his voice trembling like frost clinging to early spring petals. Yoo Sejun touches his face gently, as if afraid he might shatter. Then I will give you so much love, Yoo Sejun says, that one day, you will love me too. He gazes into his eyes with the calm certainty of someone who is already chosen. Yoo Sejun said, can you see yourself in my eyes? And then he kisses him, softly, tenderly, as if sealing a promise without words. When he pulls away, he says, I want to be someone you can trust. Will you marry me? The sea murmurs behind them. And as if answering the vow between them, the scene closes with the quiet words, after the coldest winter, spring always comes, when even the barest trees remember how to turn green. Their marriage is arranged, not as a rescue, but as a promise, to protect each other, to begin again, together. Then we are shown apartment scene, where Yoo Sejun's mother gently pats the seat beside her. Yoo Sejun's mother said, can you please come and sit here for a minute? Seo Isul said, yes, he sits, a polite smile playing on his lips. Yoo Sejun's mother said, nothing urgent, I just wanted to ask something. Life, I hope, filled only with happiness. She pauses, then carefully continue. Yoo Sejun's mother said, should you start planning to have children soon? Seo Isul blinks and said, baby. Beat passes. His smile falters, just slightly. And in that moment, his thoughts swirl like petals caught in a storm. This crisis had arrived earlier than he would braced for, question dressed as tradition, yet heavy as iron. He would barely stepped into the room, and already the walls were pressing in, like wallpaper lined with expectations. Seo Isul murmur, this crisis came earlier than I thought. Then Yoo Sejun's father placed a hand on his son's shoulder, his grip gentle but firm, like the final knot in a rope meant to keep someone grounded. We will go ahead first, he said, his voice steady, yet carrying the weight of unspoken worry. Take care of Seo Isul. And don't stray too far, Yoo Sejun nodded. Yes. Then, softer, almost like he was sending the words after them, in case they got lost in the wind, he continued, be careful on the road. His father looked at him then, really looked, as if trying to memorize his face in this quiet moment. Don't forget what I told you before, he said. Did you understand? It wasn't just a question, it was a thread pulling between generations, aptly buried beneath duty. Yes, Sejun said, his voice low. I understand. And with that, his parents turned and walked away, their figures slowly swallowed by the horizon like fading shadows at dusk, leaving behind silence and the echo of footsteps on a path they hoped he would one day follow, but not too soon. Then we are shown washroom scene, where Seo Isul leans over the sink, his body trembling as he vomits. His hand clutches his stomach, like he's trying to hold himself together, as if something inside him is unraveling. He whispers to himself, breathless, why does it hurt so much? Did I eat something bad, or is my body trying to speak a truth I won't admit? From outside, Yoo Se-jun's voice echoes like a knock on a locked door. He said, Seo Isul, are you okay? He steps inside, his worry painted all over his face. I'm fine, Seo Isul mutters, eyes downcast. Just something in my stomach. Feels twisted. Then, in his thought, Seo Isul said, maybe it's just nerves. Maybe it's just the weight of their eyes, mom and dad, pressing down on me like a storm cloud that won't move. Sejun crouches slightly to meet his gaze. Yoo Sejun said, Seo Isul, shouldn't we go to the hospital? He shakes his head quickly. No, just a little discomfort. Nothing worth dragging into a hospital room. But this has been going on for days, Yoo Sejun says, voice gentle but firm. You are nauseous, pale, tired. Seo Isul voice sharpens like broken glass. I said, I'm fine. Stop turning everything into a crisis. Just because you are used to solving problems with money, doesn't mean I am. He storms out of the bathroom, wiping his eyes, muttering, rich people, always turning concern into control. Yoo Sejun follows slowly, his voice quiet but aching. His moods, they are like a tide lately, pulling in, then crashing down. Then, more directly Yoo Sejun said, Seo Isul, I know hospitals are a pain, but just get it checked, please. Yoo Sejun gently takes his hand and helps him stand, looking into his eyes. Are you okay? Really? Where does it hurt? His walls crack. His voice trembles. I didn't want to say this, his eyes well up. I don't want to go to the hospital. Tears begin to fall, uninvited and unexplained. I don't even know why I'm crying, I don't know why I feel like this. I'm sorry, he covers his face, as if ashamed of emotions he doesn't understand. He stands there, helpless, wanting to fix it, knowing he can't. Only able to hold space for the storm he's weathering inside. Then we are shown hospital scene, where the fluorescent lights hum softly overhead. Seo Isul and Yoo Sejun sit in silence, side by side, like two passengers waiting for a train neither of them is ready to board. Seo Isul quietly said to himself, after all the winding roads and closed door, I have finally come here. To the end of fear or maybe the beginning of something else. The monitor beeps. Seo Isul name appears in harsh red letters. He doesn't move, as if rooted to him seat by invisible vines. Yoo Sejun gently nudging him, voice like a soft breeze trying to shake loose a stuck leaf and said, that's you. Go on, go inside. Seo Isul looking at him, a flicker of hesitation and said, will you come with me? Yoo Sejun said, yes. They rise together, walking into the unknown like two shadows clinging to one light. Then scene shift to the doctor's office, where the doctor sits across from them, flipping through a file as if reading the pages of a mystery still unfolding. Doctor said, let's see. What brings you in today? Seo Isul eyes search the room for something to hold on to. His voice trembles at the edge of denial. Seo Isul said to Yoo Sejun, I told you, it's probably nothing. Just a passing cloud. Yoo Sejun said to the doctor, steady and protective, lately, he has been feeling sick, nausea, vomiting, and his stomach pain is getting worse. The doctor's expression shifts, like someone fitting a final piece into a puzzle. Then doctor said, those symptoms are common when you are pregnant. After pauses, he gently said, your blood work shows nothing alarming, but the abdominal pain is concerning. CO Isul blinks, as if the word itself cracked the air like thunder. CO Isul whispers, pregnant. Doctor said, yes. You didn't know. CO Isul sits still, silent, as if the word is a stone dropped in a deep well, its echo still falling. Doctor said, even if you are a recessive omega, your pheromones shift. Subtle, but telling. We will refer you to a specialist to guide you through what comes next. Silence stretches, new reality hangs in the room like fog, thick, unfamiliar, and impossible to ignore. Then scene shift to the inside the car. It's quiet. The city passes by outside the window, blurred like memories underwater. CO Isul and his partner are driving home. CO Isul gazes out, his hand resting absent-mindedly on his stomach. His voice breaks the silence, soft and uncertain. Then CO Isul remembers what the doctor said, where he says that his pregnancy is now 23 weeks. He nods slowly, then continues, his eyes still on the road ahead. CO Isul said, he said if my mind stays unsettled, the baby might learn to curl in on itself. Defend itself, without knowing why. After pauses he said, not dangerous, just not right either. Like a flower growing under shade, still living, but never blooming the way it could, he sighs as if his thoughts weigh more than his body. Then CO Isul said, and now's when I have to be more careful, he said, to rest. To take care of my health. Like I'm a house with thin walls, and someone small is trying to build a life inside, he lowers his eyes, presses his palm a little firmer against his belly. CO Isul whispers, baby. Then, he frowns, his hand pulling back as if startled by the silence within. CO Isul said, but if I'm 6 months in, why isn't there a belly? No roundness, no sign, just silence. Like he's hiding, he lets out a nervous laugh, the kind that tries to hold back a growing tide. Then CO Isul said, maybe he is a Shakman. The kind that floats between presence and absence. Like mist, you can feel him, but you can't see him. 1 in 4, the doctor said, can't even tell the difference between bloating and carrying life. Then his voice tightens, trembles, something raw pushes through. Then CO Isul said, I don't want to be like my mother. His eyes glass over, and the quiet that follows is thicker than before, quiet not just of the car, but of history, of inheritance, of man who carried more than just children.